Hi everybody, welcome to Frannie's Square. I'm so glad you've joined me. Today is the first episode of my new series called Make It Your Own, where I show you how to design your own crochet projects. So before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel, watched my videos, liked them, commented on them. It means so much to me and it really does help to support my channel. If you have not subscribed yet, take a look around, check out my videos. If you like what you see, click the subscribe button, and also in the comments let me know that you're a new subscriber. I'd love to welcome you personally, and I'm sure the rest of the community would like to say hello as well. Now on to the new series, Make It Your Own, where we are going to design our own crochet projects from start to finish. I know it may sound scary, but we're going to do it step by step together, and we're going to learn so much in the process. When I first started crocheting, I followed other people's tutorials and patterns, and I learned so much from everybody, and I still do. But there's nothing like taking a project from start to finish, from a picture in your head to something in your hands, and knowing that you designed the entire thing and that it fits your style and your needs. One thing that I'd like to say up front is mistakes are a good thing. Don't worry about making a mistake. I can't tell you how much I have learned from the mistakes I've made. So just consider it an opportunity. We can always frog it and then move on, but you will learn a lot from mistakes, so don't be afraid to make them. The worst thing to do is to not start because you're afraid you're going to make a mistake. Spoiler alert, you're going to make mistakes. I do it all the time. I end up ripping things out, but I learn so much in the process, and you will too. As we go through this series, if you would like to share your projects with our community, send me pictures to my email address, which I will include in the description below. And I will be posting people's projects in videos. And also, if you have questions, put the questions in the comments below, or you can send them via email with a corresponding picture. I really want us to learn from each other throughout this process. In today's episode of Make It Your Own, I'm going to discuss the 10 steps I use to design a crochet project. Along the way, you may develop your own process, and that's making it your own. So feel free to do that. Use what you like, tweak what you don't, and share any of your ideas with the community. I love learning from all of you. The first step in any project is finding inspiration. What inspires you? What type of projects? Do you like doing clothing and garments? Do you like making gifts for people? Do you like making home decor? Maybe you like it all. Have you seen items in books and magazines that inspire you? I often look at sources that have nothing to do with crochet, but it'll spur an idea about a project for me. I even see things out in nature or colors together, looking at gardens and flowers. Inspiration can come from anywhere. My biggest piece of advice is if you see something that really speaks to you, take a picture of it, rip it out of the magazine, and then keep a notebook for yourself of these things. And you'll see projects will start to come together. Step 2 is to organize and strategize. I recommend keeping a notebook where you have a section for your inspiration pieces. You can put your pictures, your articles, whatever you found that gives you inspiration in that section. The next section, I like to keep a list of project ideas. They may be based on upcoming holidays, gifts I want to make, some home decor I'd like to make, what season's coming up. Do I want to make a beach cover up? Do I want to make hat and gloves? And just keep a running list. As you make that list, you'll see you'll have more and more ideas, and certain ones will really stand out for you. Next, you want to have project planning pages. I'm going to link a project planning page. You can download it and print out as many as you like, and that page will be used for planning out each particular project. Step 3 is to choose my project. Now it's really getting fun. So let's say I choose placemats. Well, what do I need to think about? The first thing I want to think about is, what is it going to look like? What is the shape and size that I'm going to make my placemat? So let's say I decide to make a rectangular placemat. What size? Well, I may go to my current placemats and measure them and see what the average size of a placemat is. I may decide that my placemats are too small and I'd like them a little bit bigger. Also, what kind of special detailing would I like on my placemats? Maybe I'd like a special edging that matches my home decor. So this is how I start planning the project that I'm going to make. Step 4 is to do a rough sketch. You don't have to be an artist. You just want to get down on paper what the pieces of your project are going to look like. It may be a one-piece project like a placemat, or it may be several pieces like a garment. Sketching is important because it helps you to determine what materials you'll need, how much of each material, and how you will construct your project. After completing your rough sketch, you want to start to think about the materials you're going to use. The first thing to consider when choosing your materials is the purpose for your project. Is it going to be a kitchen project? Will it be exposed to heat and to water and to food stains? Do you want it to wash up easily? Will it be a winter project where you want it to keep you warm? Or a summer project where you want it to be light and airy and breathable? All of these things should be considered when you're deciding on the fiber of your yarn and the weight of your yarn. Once I've chosen the materials comes one of my favorite parts, choosing the stitch, the motif, the edging. I love that part of it. That's where my creative juices really flow. I take into account the purpose of my object. So let's say I'm making a placemat. I know I want that placemat to protect my table. So in that case, I'm going to look for a stitch that's a tighter weave. If I were making a beach cover-up, I'd want a light and airy stitch. If I were making a winter hat, I'd like something really warm. Again, maybe a tighter stitch, a textured stitch. I have a basic toolkit that I use for choosing my stitches, my edging, my motifs. I'm going to show you that toolkit. But there's no need to spend money if you don't want to. There are plenty of blogs and tutorials out there that you can find stitches and edgings and motifs for free. Here's my basic toolkit though. First, if you've watched my flash reviews, you'll recognize this book. This is my go-to for stitches. It's called The Indispensable Stitch Collection for Crocheters, and it's by Melissa Leitman. It has about 200 stitches in it, and I use this for every project. The next one, well, actually the next 3 are by Edie Eckman. I absolutely love her books. The first is called Beyond the Square. It's on crochet motifs, and I haven't done reviews of any of these books yet just because I haven't gotten to it. But the fact that they're part of my toolkit lets you know that I really do like these resources. So the first one, Beyond the Square, crochet motifs, and Edie shows you all different shape motifs. There's hexagons, triangles, stars, squares, beautiful color pictures, and it really gets your creativity going. Next, she has an Every Which Way crochet border book, and there are tons of different borders in here. And we'll talk about as we go forward how you incorporate borders into your project. Sometimes you have to be careful of your stitch count and things like that, and we'll get into that. And then the last one is around the corner. It's another crochet border book because you can just never have too many borders or too many edgings. And again, she has beautiful colored pictures in here. So that's my basic toolkit for choosing stitches, borders, and motifs. And I will put links to all of those things below if you're interested in taking a look at them. And again, remember, you don't have to spend money. You can certainly look at tutorials and blogs and find stitches and borders and motifs there. Step 8 is to make a swatch. And I'm calling it step 8, but it could be steps 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You may make several swatches until you get the look that you're going for. Making a swatch is important for many reasons. First, you want to see how your fiber, your hook, and your yarn are all working together with that stitch. You may look at it and decide, oh, the hook's too small, I'm getting too tight of a stitch. Then you move to a bigger hook and see if you get the look you like. Also, maybe you chose a really variegated yarn with lots of color and you tried a complicated stitch with it and you realize you're not really able to show off the stitch with that colorful yarn. Maybe you want to switch your yarn or your stitch. In any case, The swatch is the chance for you to really figure out how you want your project to look. So take your time with it. Your swatch will also help you to decide how much material you'll need, how many stitches and how many rows you'll need for your pattern, and it will become the gauge for your pattern should you share your pattern with someone else. I can't stress enough how important making swatches is. It really is an important step in designing a successful project. Step 9 is a step that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and that is doing the math. Once you have your swatch, you will know how many stitches per inch, how many rows per inch you have, and it's time to take those numbers and turn them into a pattern. I know that a lot of people don't like math, but don't worry, we will go step by step together in figuring out how to use that swatch to make our pattern. Finally, step 10 is putting together your pattern. You'll use your pattern planning pages and you'll write out your pattern, which you will then use to start creating your project. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 10 basic steps I use to design a crochet project. In preparation for the next episode, I'd like you to collect your inspiration, start writing your list of project ideas, and choose a project that is a simple one-piece, preferably rectangular project. Something like a placemat, a table runner, a lap blanket. You could even do a full-size blanket, but we're gonna start with something simple. So have your project idea ready, and then in episode 2, we're gonna go into detail about sketching your idea, choosing your materials, and choosing your stitch, edging, and motif. I hope you found this information helpful, and if you did, please hit the like button. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Remember to make it your own, and I'll see you soon.